But their wine was weak as hell, wasn't it? Because they added like a bunch of parts of water to wine.
Yeah, they watered it down.
So it's not what we think is wine.
They were like wining their water. They weren't really watering their wine.
That makes sense. Kind of like grog on a ship where you mix the brandy with the water to keep it,
rum
bacteria out.
Yeah, like so far as I understand.
Rum. Yeah, not brandy.
Yeah. Maybe on a rich boat. Like
on one of those ancient Roman yachts.
Yeah. Oh, I watched this YouTuber do salted pork, like from like when not pirates specifically, but when people would travel on large boats and do exploratory voyages that would last years, they'd have all that salted pork. And so he takes a keg and puts hunks of raw pork in it and salts it and adds brine. And he's like,
I seen it.
You saw it. He's like, we're going to open this up in February of 2026. This film, it's the beginning of it's from last year, and then there's a little transition, and here we are, and I'm like, oh, great, we get to see. And he cracks it open. And he's got a flesh hook. Never seen one of those before. Fucking flesh hooks that meat out of it. He's like, a little discoloration on that one, but the rest of it looks fine. And it's like, that's pretty cool.
It makes sense. Back then,
he talked about how they would desalinate it to eat it. And they would put it in a bag and drag it behind the vessel in the ocean water, and I guess the ocean water. It was so much saltier than the ocean water because it's just nothing but salt in there.
Damn, I didn't know they would put it in a bag behind a ship, but that does make sense because I also watched Townsend and Sons do salt pork, and the amount of salt he was putting on there. Like, I don't know what I imagined, but I was like, this is absurd. Like, this is an amount of salt.
And then brine.
I couldn't imagine. And then he poured that on top of the salt and everything.
Yeah.
And back then, apparently, the salt pork, even though we think of like beef as the higher quality meat compared to pork, back then, salt beef sucked. Didn't work out right. But salt pork was beef. You could still turn salt pork into something tasty if you did it right. And so people preferred salt pork to salt beef.
The guy I watched was great.
Sorry.
He was like, now you wouldn't want to eat it raw like this, as he pulls it out of this salt keg from last year. But we know from historical records that some did. And I'm like, oh God, that would be the worst. It looks so raw and salty.
I'm so thirsty.
All we have is brine.
Or rum.
I'm gonna be queasy. You want to talk about some emergency shits? Imagine a fucking pirate eating nothing but ship's biscuits. That hardtack is literally like high wheat flour that you bake low and slow. And I don't mean for 30 minutes, an hour, or 2 hours. Like, you would do 2 different bakes. You would bake it once and then bake it again until all the moisture is gone, and it's going to be preserved and just from being dry. You'd eat a pound of that a day. You'd eat a pound of pork, that salted pork a day, and then you'd be lucky if you got some mashed green peas in a bag. They would put the green. Pottage comes to mind, but that's not what pottage is. They take the green peas and they put them in a sack, and then they tie it off real tight and like spin it until it compresses the peas. Then they boil the bag.
The shit out of you. Oh.
You're hungry now, are you? They boil the fucking bag, and that is your food. And they wouldn't add anything to it. On holidays, they'd have butter.
The whole time your like gums are rotting away. You've had no vitamin C, and
they bring lemon juice. They'd have big like barrels full of lemon juice or lime juice, but that loses its vitamin C potency after a couple years. So scurvy sets in on those extra long voyages when they're not in the tropics. When they go to the north or they're exploring some region that they can't get citrus, they all get scurvy and lead poisoning and get violently ill. That's that crazy Antarctic voyage.
The most disgusting disease you could possibly have with horrific symptoms, and the cure is eat a lime.
Yeah. Eat a whole lime, and the whole time you're like, you're just getting assaulted on all of your taste senses the entire time on a ship. You're either eating the saltiest piece of meat on earth or drinking lemon juice. Like, there's no.
You probably mix it with some water. It'd be okay, or some grog or whatever you're drinking. Like, you dilute it like everything.
Lemon juice with your fucking rum water.
Yeah, that sounds like a cocktail.
I was gonna say that sounds like a great cocktail.
Now you're mixing. Yeah, okay.
We get some banana slices in here. We got a party. All right,
I think
make a whole smoothie.
I don't remember if I read this in a reputable source or some random tweet, but
It came to you in a dream.
Or it came to me in a dream. Doesn't late stage scurvy mean like your scars start opening up again?
Yes.
Oh
the fibers that bind your scars like open back up again.
Yeah.
So all of your scars open up. This big stab wound in my arm would open up.
My foreskin grows back.
Oh, what if there's that ring around your dick would just start opening up and oozing? They don't tell that. That's not in the historical data.
Yeah, the light brown ring around your cockhead.
Those guys weren't cut though. They were hardy sailor men. You know.
Yeah, they needed that
little anteaters.
You need the foreskin in that climate. Yeah, to protect you from not only the insects of the Pacific, but the colds of the Arctic.
You sneaking limes in your foreskin again, eh?
No, sir. No.
No, sir. Let me smell it. Boy, he's been sneaking limes
for you, boy.
I can tell because it's not disgusting. The way it was
like the corporate punishment system on those boats of the time seems like really barbaric, but at the same time, because some of the
keel hauling.
That's different. Yeah. Keel hauling doesn't even seem like a punishment. That's attempted murder.
That's an execution.
That's just execution. Yeah.
Yeah, because the problem with keel hauling, they did it different ways. For those who don't know, that's when you throw the person overboard in the front of the vessel and you tied with a rope and you sort of drag them at the front so that the splash and the surge of the water at the front is kind of waterboarding them the whole time. But what I've read is that a lot of times they would do it a different way, where they would do it around the sides.
Over the side.
They'd have a rope that went under the bottom of the vessel on the right side and came out on the left side. And they would throw you in and drag you across the hull underneath the boat. And the undersides are covered with barnacles and those growths and stuff. So it's not even sandpaper. It's more like blades or like rock.
It's it's like being dragged behind a truck on a gravel road.
I think it's worse than that even. It's bad.
Yeah, because at least you can breathe.
And you can't breathe. And they do you multiple trips. You know, they might do you multiple trips, or they might just do it till you die.
Yeah. And those guys are bored. They're like, we got 1,000 miles to Scandinavia.
This is the most excitement we've had around here. Not say, just give him another pull. Just send him around again.
I want his lime tonight. Yeah. Anyone call dibs on Derek's lime? No? All right.
And then the lashing, like it seems like if you were insubordinate or something, you'd get like 10 lashes or something like that. I don't want that. I don't want anybody lashing me as an adult.
I don't think that's you can't just give lashing to shipsmen.
In the British Navy, you absolutely could.
I just mean like lashing was around everywhere.
Oh,
like the keel hauling thing was a specifically seafaring form of torture.
Yeah, but I think that's for like a serious crime because they might not survive.
I'm curious.
Like I think they would lash you over like insubordination or like a fight with a crew member, certainly with a superior officer, for like maybe stealing rations or like doing your duties poorly.
They got to do that then. Like you're on a ship with a bunch of potential miscreants. You know, these guys they're not on the ship because things were going well.
It's true.
Like you got to keep those guys in line.
Apparently, keel hauling was a punishment for like mutiny or desertion. So like the two worst crimes you could commit on the high seas.
That makes sense.
I would never be ballsy enough to mutiny. I would only turn when I saw the majority were also on the side of mutiny.
Would you hype up the mutineer though?
I would be a complete coward.
Would you hype up the mutineer and kind of antagonize though? Like, you're right. He's not giving us any butter. I bet he's got butter tonight. I bet he's got power butter tonight.
He called you earlier. Did you hear that?
Yeah, and then to be the first guy to push him over when you're keel hauling him, be like, "Sorry, bro."
Outrageous.
Outrageous. Yeah.
Yo, Captain, fucking Edward over here. He's got crazy. He called you a fucking bro. We tie him up and throw him underneath the ship. I've been bored for like a week and a half. I saw a manatee that looked sexy as fuck though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That always confuses me
because they have like lady bones in their legs, and so they thought they were like they got horny for them. Is that right?
Yes, still do.
That's where the tales of mermaids come from. Apparently, when they would come and they would see the manatees in the Gulf of America, and and they would they thought that the manatees were mermaids. But if you've ever seen a manatee, that thing is not sexy. That thing is one of the ugliest creatures.
Agree to disagree, Kyle.
Zach, show us a sexy manatee. See if you can dig that out of the archives of the internet.
Yeah,
A
put some
sexy
makeup on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sexy manatee.
Yeah, sexy one. Because
Yeah,
I've seen how they have like
Coy look on its
weird.
face.
They have weird knees, like
I think
little
you get
like
beluga whales, but maybe manatees too.
Yeah, they have like vestigial legs.
Yeah,
So they have like hips.
they're
Beluga
goofy.
whales
weird.
do have almost like a feminine hip on their underside. You can see like their hips and the shape of their body. Where like this thing used to walk on land.
Let's see the
It
beluga
was
whale
only
hip.
a
Let's see
few
what we
million
got
years
here.
ago.
Ooh.
You find sexy
Let's
belugas now?
Let's get horny in the chat.
I'm finding some of these, dude.
Single belugas in your community now, but you must
Single
fuck now. Are you looking for sexy beluga whales in your neck of the woods? These belugas want to fuck, and they're not taking no for an answer.
But you have to fuck them. You can't
Turn down
sign
more
up
than
for this
2
app and
beluga
then not
whale
fuck
fucks.
them.
You're removed from belugafuckers.org.